Jiddu Krishnamurti, a revolutionary thinker of the 20th century, boldly rejected organized religion, spiritual systems, and any form of dogma, seeking a path to truth that was accessible to everyone. His approach encouraged individuals to observe and understand themselves without the influence of doctrines or gurus. Krishnamurti's teachings may seem uniquely his own, but on closer inspection, they resonate deeply with one of the oldest spiritual traditions in the world, Buddhism. His concept of choiceless awareness mirrors Buddhist mindfulness practices, focusing on pure awareness and non-judgmental observation as keys to freedom and self-discovery. In exploring the striking similarities and subtle differences between Krishnamurti's philosophy and Buddhist teachings, we uncover profound insights into the nature of awareness, freedom, and the true meaning of love. By looking beyond religious structures and understanding the mind directly, Krishnamurti's teachings challenge us to seek freedom in our own consciousness, offering timeless guidance on living authentically and compassionately. Jiddu Krishnamurti's life journey was unconventional from the start. He was born into a Brahmin family in India and raised within the framework of the Theosophical Society, an organization devoted to exploring spirituality beyond the bounds of any one religion. Selected by prominent theosophists to be a global spiritual leader, Krishnamurti was groomed for a role that could have brought him power, status, and influence. Yet, in a move that would define his life and philosophy, Krishnamurti rejected this role in 1929, denouncing the very organization that had nurtured him. In his famous statement, "Truth is a pathless land," he proclaimed his rejection of any fixed paths to spiritual enlightenment, arguing that truth cannot be found within the confines of organized religion or spiritual systems. Krishnamurti's break from tradition was more than a personal decision. It was a statement about the nature of truth itself. He believed that truth was not something to be attained or given by any external authority, but was instead an intrinsic part of every individual. According to him, the search for truth should be free from gurus, rituals, and religious practices that, he argued, only distance people from direct experience and self-knowledge. His teaching resonated with individuals seeking a direct approach to self-discovery, unencumbered by the constraints of traditional spiritual systems. Despite his rejection of structured spirituality, Krishnamurti's emphasis on awareness aligns with key Buddhist principles. Although Buddhism provides structured practices like meditation and mindfulness, it also emphasizes that genuine insight can only be realized through personal experience. Both Krishnamurti and Buddhism share a vision of freedom as something deeply personal, arising from direct observation rather than from prescribed beliefs or rituals. At the heart of Buddhist practice is mindfulness, or sati, the capacity to observe one's thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations without judgment. According to Buddhist teachings, suffering arises not from external circumstances, but from our reactions to them, our attachments, aversions, and desire to control. The Buddha taught that by cultivating a state of mindful awareness, we can learn to see things as they are, free from emotional entanglement and bias. Mindfulness in Buddhism is often developed through meditation, where practitioners train themselves to focus on the present moment without clinging to or resisting what arises in their minds. This process enables individuals to see their thoughts and emotions as passing phenomena rather than as defining aspects of themselves. By recognizing the transient nature of thoughts, one begins to experience freedom from the habitual patterns that lead to suffering. In this state of mindful awareness, individuals can approach life with greater clarity, compassion, and understanding. Krishnamurti's teachings echo this approach. While he did not advocate for meditation in the traditional sense, his concept of choiceless awareness emphasizes a similar form of observation. seeing without interference, judgment, or analysis. To him, true understanding of oneself comes from directly observing the mind, as it is, without the filters of conditioning or preconceived notions. This awareness, he argued, is essential for inner freedom and for freeing oneself from the limitations imposed by thought and past experiences. Krishnamurti's concept of choiceless awareness is central to his philosophy. He describes it as the practice of simply observing one's thoughts, feelings, and experiences without trying to control, change, or categorize them. In choiceless awareness, one becomes a detached observer of the mind's workings, watching thoughts as they arise and pass without labeling them as good or bad. This practice is about stepping back and allowing the mind to reveal its patterns without interference, which Krishnamurti believed is essential for self-understanding. In this way, choiceless awareness closely resembles the Buddhist practice of vipassana, or insight meditation, where practitioners are encouraged to observe their experiences as they come and go, free from attachment. Both approaches aim to cultivate a state of clarity and calmness that allows one to understand the mind without being dominated by it. However, Krishnamurti took a more radical stance, rejecting any form of structured method or practice. While Buddhism offers meditation techniques as a means to develop mindfulness, Krishnamurti argued that such methods create a separation between the seeker and the truth. He believed that the very act of following a path or technique implied a goal-oriented mindset, which distanced individuals from the direct experience of truth. According to him, awareness should be immediate, spontaneous, and unencumbered by any system or discipline. This insistence on pure, unstructured observation sets his teachings apart, though they share the same foundational insight with Buddhism, that freedom comes from seeing clearly without the interference of conditioning. For Krishnamurti, the present moment held immense significance. He taught that truth is found not in religious doctrines, future goals, or intellectual pursuits, but in the simple act of observing what is happening now. By paying full attention to the present moment, he argued, we can discover clarity and insight that cannot be accessed through abstract beliefs or deferred enlightenment. This emphasis on the present moment is also a cornerstone of Buddhist practice. In Buddhism, the four foundations of mindfulness, the body, feelings, mind, and mental states, are observed as they arise, teaching practitioners to live fully in the present. Buddhism teaches that by focusing on the present, individuals can escape the constant cycle of attachment and aversion that leads to suffering. Krishnamurti's teaching, though framed differently, carries the same essential wisdom. Transformation occurs only in the present moment, not in some imagined future or through intellectual pursuits. Both Krishnamurti and Buddhist teachings encourage us to engage with the present with full attention and to let go of the distractions of past memories or future anxieties. By doing so, we open ourselves to direct experience and self-understanding. Krishnamurti's concept of freedom goes beyond intellectual understanding or emotional comfort. He believed that freedom lies in a state of pure awareness, where the mind can observe without interference or distortion. Conflict, he argued, arises when we try to escape the present moment or cling to desires that distort our perception. Similarly, Buddhism teaches that suffering arises from attachment and aversion, and that true freedom is achieved by observing these impulses without reacting to them. This awareness, according to Krishnamurti, is also the foundation of love. He believed that only a mind free from its own conditioning could experience love in its purest form. In Buddhism, too, awareness leads to compassion, as one learns to see others without the distortions of ego and self-interest. By freeing ourselves from judgment, we create space for genuine love, untouched by societal expectations or personal desires. In this way, both Krishnamurti and Buddhist teachings suggest that love and freedom are intertwined, emerging naturally when the mind is unclouded and fully present. Jiddu Krishnamurti's teachings and Buddhist philosophy converge on a profound insight that true freedom and understanding come from observing life without judgment or attachment. Krishnamurti's concept of choiceless awareness reflects the essence of Buddhist mindfulness, encouraging us to look within and find clarity and love by observing the mind without interference. By focusing on the present moment, both teachings offer a path to self-understanding and compassion, enabling individuals to live authentically and free from the distortions of conditioning. Whether through the structured path of Buddhism or Krishnamurti's unstructured approach, both lead us to the realization that freedom and love are not distant goals, but natural outcomes of pure awareness. Krishnamurti's legacy invites us to question our beliefs and discover that the truth lies not in external systems, but in the quiet, attentive observation of our own minds. By embracing this awareness, we open ourselves to a life of clarity, compassion, and love, proving that only the free mind truly knows what love is.